Sometimes complain a little, just a little, get God's attention. Let us look at the book of John, chapter 5, from verses 1 all the way to verses 15. But I'm going to specify on verses 6, 7, and 8. When Jesus saw him lying there, this is the story about the man who was healed at the pool of Bethesda. When Jesus saw him lying there and learned he had been in this condition for a long time, he asked him, "Do you want to get well?" "Sir," verse 7, the invalid replied, "I have no one to help me into the pool when the water is stirred. When I'm trying to get in, someone else goes down ahead of me." After 38 years, this man must have gotten this question quite a number of times. Maybe those people who used to come before wanted something in return, like, "I might stay here with you and throw you in for a prize, for you to get healed. Besides, you'll be healed, so you can always cough up." Let us remember that this guy, from all this guy had no one in his life. Absolutely no one in his life. No one had come for him. No one would stay there with him. No one. And then comes along Jesus, peaceful. And then this man is asked, "Do you want to get well?" Maybe, I'm not saying, people use this word like, you should be specific in your prayers. You should be. No. Let me have another take on it. Reason with me. After a long time, and you will hear the same preachers who use this word to encourage to be specific in your prayers. They'll tell you they had come to a point that they had given up. Jesus, from his travels, he came specifically to this man. Maybe he's the one who had stayed there the longest. Maybe there were others that had stayed even for over 38 years. But he spotted this man. He spotted this man. Get how powerful that is. He spotted this man who had been there for 38 years. And we remember in some other text when Jesus says that this person is not like this. It is not because of their sins or the sins of their parents. No, it is so that the power of God can be manifested. This is what Jesus was doing. This is someone, the invalid had lost hope. Tell me you've been prayed for something for 38 years and you have given up hope. This man knew how to give up. He had given up. And he did not know who Jesus was. No one would come there. You see, you remember the 4 friends that broke down the roof to bring one of their friends down so that he can be healed by Jesus. He had no person like that to take him to Jesus. Not even his parents. Maybe this man was an orphan at this time, because he was just taken and left at the pool of Bethesda, and everyone left. Just like that. Okay? Then comes along Jesus. Do you want to get healed? How many times do you think, what would be your reply if he asked you the same question? Everyone who preaches this, at one point or the other, they'll tell you they had given up and they were bargaining with God. It's either you do this for me or I become an atheist. It's either you do this for me or I stop believing in you. So I don't see the reason why this man is treated differently. Because Jesus' reply in verse 8. Then Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick your mat, and walk. I don't know who gives us the right to complain, to say that this man complained. When you are at the end, and everyone says this, when you are at the end, at your end, that's when Jesus, that's when God comes and begins a new chapter in your life. That is where this man was. At his very end, at like, no, I don't even know how to put this. He had then given up hope. He had lost his parents, maybe. He was an orphan. He had no friends. He had no ability to use his body. He was practically a beggar. And maybe he was even starving. Because maybe the other invalids and the other people who are around there being sick, maybe some of their families are the ones who used to bring this man food. Because if he had family, it would have been recorded. Nothing that happened in the Bible has not been recorded. He had no one. And then comes this man, do you want to get well? Like, come on. Okay, he couldn't pull that because he couldn't stand. Anyway, but this man did not even know who Jesus was. He had no friends to tell him about the amazingness of Jesus. The woman who was bleeding for over 12 years, she heard about Jesus. But Myers had an intimate knowledge about Jesus because he calls him Jesus, son of David. That is a person who knows where Jesus comes from. But this man, no. This man, he had no idea who this, like, who be you? You asking me, I want to get healed. Who be you? Eh? Who be you? Come on. Because if Jesus got angry, if Jesus as much as said that you should be specific in what I am asking, you should answer the question that I have asked you, it will have been recorded. But verse 8, the Lord who is slow to anger and abounding in love says, get up, pick up your mat, left. Like, go, just go. Because this man had been frustrated, and Jesus came at that specific time to end his frustrations. I don't know if you're getting how powerful this is. It is because he gave Jesus the reason why he is not healed. That is the reason he got healed. Complain. People say it's complaining. Okay, I'm gonna go with it. Complain about it. It's okay. Because it says Jesus never asked. He never asked, why didn't you give me a yes or no answer? No. He was very, very commanding because he had come to save this man out of his agony, out of his frustrations, out of his hopelessness. Get up and walk. Pick up your mat and go. Pick up your mat and go. And it was on a Sabbath, proving that Jesus is the Lord of the Sabbath. There is nothing that is impossible with him. Sometimes you just need this much complaining, as people call it. So when you hear these words next time, just remember, Jesus never judged this invalid man. Who are you? It is good to be specific in your prayers. Yes, we get that. But please, that is not the only lesson that has been learned throughout the centuries about this man. When you are at your end, that's when Jesus steps in. Mwah.